Welcome back to Advent of Tess. It is day 24, Christmas Eve if you're following along with the release schedule, and we're going to be folding Vortex, a tessellation that builds on skills that we learned on day 18, which was these closed triangle stars with closed rhombi. We're just going to do them with open rhombi today. So let's dive in. I've got these closed hexagon, single closed hexagon and closed triangles on the back side and the open rhombi on the front. So I'm going to flip my grid over to start putting in that closed hexagon on the back. And no, there are no special effects here. Everything is real-time folding. So with that in place, I'm gonna poke and grab my hexagon and rotate around. And once it's down, I'm gonna iron out any crumpling that happened on the way down. I'm feeling with my fingers, pinching the central hexagon, looking for extra layers. I don't notice any, and looking on the back, I see maybe a little divot here, but really nothing to be concerned about. So I'll go ahead and iron this flat with my bone folder. Get everything nice and squashed. And we're going to be doing the closed triangle star for overlaps that will open on the other side. So we're going to be folding our hexagon in half, going 2 spacings out to find our target intersection for the closed triangle. Then squashing it, letting our hexagon open back up, coming down clockwise to the next pleat, folding our hexagon in half again, and repeating the process with the next closed triangle 2 spacings out from the center, and making a pleat overlap right at the corner of the new triangle. I'm going to continue in this vein going all the way around. And again, this should be familiar from the 2 days that we did this closed triangle star earlier this week. And so I was saying yesterday, like, oh, what is the reason for including something so hard in Advent of Tess? One reason is because it's pretty, and it is. But the other reason is to make day 25 look easier. So here I'm on my 6th triangle, and I'm going to reverse the pleat ordering where it's overlapping with the first by opening up, letting the new valley run through first, letting the mountain fold over completely flat, then let the pleat from the first triangle carry through. And then I can squash my last triangle and get my star in place. Then I'll flip over and let's see what we're going to be doing to fold these rhombi. So the first thing that I see when I go to open up this overlap, once again, is I've got a point of a star there. I've got another point of that star over here, and since this is a rhombus, we're going for 4 points not 6. So these will be the other 2. Luckily, we don't have to undo the neighboring overlap to put in the new twist, but we do need to, like, we don't need to undo anything, but we do need to open it up a little to let this pass under, because when this squashes, it's going to go further up and to the left than that corner will allow. So it needs to be underneath. Once we've got everything in place, we can go ahead and start to squash. And you can see mine immediately starts to crumple a bit towards the center and go a little bit off grid intersection towards the outside. That is perfectly fine. I'm going to go in from the opposite side with my bone folder to smooth things out a bit. And I can even flip over to make sure that everything's going okay as I get this going. So I want the corner to be exactly at this triangle corner under here. So right here. So that's where I need all of my folds to point to. And flipping back over, that's going to help me to get everything cleanly into place. And the first one's going to be the hardest, both because we haven't done this one before. I mean, we did something really similar yesterday, but also because we need to have our pleat here really jammed up into the neighboring pleat. And if there's any unevenness in the grid, that can be another sticking point. So just like yesterday, instead of continuing to jam things up and under other things, we're going to go the other direction where we have a nice big open space. So I'm opening my pleat overlap. If I was doing a closed twist, it would be right here, but I'm doing an open twist instead. And so this pleat's going to move one that way, and this pleat's going to move one that way. And we have the setup for our twist, and I can go ahead and squash. You see, it's a lot cleaner now that I have more space to maneuver in. And so I'm going to go around the same way. Another way to look at this twist is we're looking for that central anvil. Another thing to notice is that my mountain of the opposite side of the anvil goes straight to the corner. And squash and rotate, set up. So what we're looking for here is in one direction, there's 2 spaces between parallel mountains, and in the other direction, there is 1 spacing. That's how you know you've got an open rhombus on your hands. With the closed rhombus, it's 1 and 0 instead of 2 and 1. And we'll go ahead and do this for the remainder of the rhombi. And one final one to do. And so don't worry, I'm not going to be ratcheting up the difficulty level for Christmas Day. That's not going to happen. We're going to be calming it down a little bit and doing the start of a piece that many people have as a goal for folding in tessellations, which is Peter Keller's Just Rhombi. Or is it Joel Cooper's? Everything comes and goes in cycles. So we have these open rhombi around the closed triangles, which we do see a little bit of opening, but that's just because we took the paper away from the closed triangle hole, and all of that around a central hexagon. Of course, that also describes what we did yesterday. It's just a matter of which side that hexagon is on. So happy folding, and I will see you tomorrow for the grand finale, Christmas Day.